This is Outnumbered, and I'm Melissa Francis. Here today, Harris Faulkner, of course. Fox Business Network anchor Dagen McDowell, host of Kennedy on the Fox Business Network. Kennedy, you're so disciplined, you bring something new and interesting to say every time that we've met. There you go. All right, we're going to get right to it on that note.
Thanks.
Sources telling Fox News that Mueller has agreed to reduce the number of questions from the. We wonder, so is he going to know the questions in advance? I mean,
there's like a.
Into the next presidential election season, they don't repeat these mistakes, and people aren't going to washed up British spies and paying millions of dollars for opposition research. Because as we're learning from this whole exercise, opposition and resistance, it's not enough. And it's certainly not going to be enough to get people to the polls. They want ideas and they want solutions. And the good thing about people being so politically engaged and having a president, love him or hate him, people are paying attention to every single thing. It means that voters are more educated and they're not going to listen to propaganda nonsense about how horrible their opponent is. There has to be more than that.
President Trump and his attorneys need to tell Bob.
This is a Fox News alert. The White House revealing that President Trump has received another letter from North Korea's Kim Jong-un as the U.S. military begins the painstaking process of analyzing and identifying the same kind of unpredictability that the president has. Because on one hand, you know, we have hostages who were released and are now back home. He said he was going to return the remains of at least some of the fallen fighters from the Korean War, but at the same time appears to be still tinkering with long-distance missiles.
I said this a couple of days ago. Negotiate. Compare last night to January 13th. That is monumental, and that's why this is different than Iran.
You know, I think it must become
is trivial, is incredibly insensitive to the families who, you know, at some point it is a process. There was only one dog tag, and
yes,
I'm worried about the Trump deniers in this situation, and those are the people who deny any positive outcome that is related to President Trump. And when they look at this, it is a very difficult science to go through this remains, and they are going to find some, I think, without question, that either aren't Americans or aren't what we thought. And those people are going to stand up and declare victory. And they won't respect, number one, how hard this is, and number two, how meaningful any of it coming back is.
And how hurtful that would be for families.
How hurtful and painful and disrespectful that will be. I think it'll happen. I'm worried, but here you go.
All right, we have new emails obtained by the conservative group Judicial Watch.
He said that America needed
very
new
much
car smell. When he was talking.
Yeah, but didn't he? And but I think the slight against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is kind of important because they're still very much fighting for the soul of the Democratic Party, and there still really isn't a leader of the Democrat Party, and President Obama doesn't want to do it. You know, he begrudgingly comes out and gives speeches and talks about universal basic income.
He likes being a king. I don't think it's begrudgingly.
He likes being a kingmaker, but he doesn't like doing the political side and the grunt work, which he's going to have to. He's going to have to hit the trail come November. But she, you know, she represents the chasm in the party. He is on one side. Bernie Sanders is on the other. There's still very much a fight for it.
Before she had that 2 or 3 jobs
real quickly, I have a question for you. When it comes to exacting, you know.
Good. Yeah, I like that one.
You want to tell us about you want to do your favorite grade?
I want to know something in the book where you were completely wrong.
Oh, I have a.
Because I know you go back and you sort of score your predictions.
So this has about, I don't know, like 200 monologues, and they go by pretty fast. So that's why I put them together.
Take notes in Sharpie, and you think about it ahead of time.
I have like 60 pages of notes for the 5, and it's ridiculous. It's probably a bit weird and obsessive.
I type mine, and now I feel kind of normal. Now I see Greg's notes.
This is because my eyesight's so bad.
If I tweet about the book a lot, will you book me on your weekend show?
I would love to. You don't even have to do that.
Does it annoy you when other people do analogies? That's your signature.
Only when they're really bad.
Okay.
If they're really good, I'm impressed. Okay. But if they're bad, it upsets me.
All right. Buy the book, More Outnumbered, in just a moment.
Thanks, guys, for doing it. That's
Greg Gutfeld there talking. I'm going to tell you later.
Yes.
We are back here at noon Eastern tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. This was so much fun.
It is. It's great. I love the couch, and I love the studio.
You're in later, but
exactly.
in a different position.
I'm on the 5 with you tomorrow for the first time, so you better look out.
Oh, man.
Wow, really?
We're doing fan mail, so I get to
I'm
ask you
jealous.
questions.
Here's Harris.